Commander Rashida Khan stood at the helm of the UES Nightshade, her dark eyes fixed on the massive crystalline structure that dominated the viewscreen. The Galactic Council's diplomatic station hung in space like an elaborate diamond snowflake, its translucent spires catching the light of the nearby binary stars. Everything about this first official meeting felt wrong. "They're hailing us again, Commander," Lieutenant James O'Neill reported from his communications station, his Irish accent thick with tension. "Third time in 5 minutes." Khan smoothed her uniform, a deliberately outdated design that matched their ship's carefully crafted appearance of technological inferiority. "Let them wait 1 more minute," she said, allowing a touch of nervousness to enter her voice for the benefit of any council surveillance. "I want to make sure our simple systems are properly aligned." The bridge crew played their parts perfectly, making small adjustments to their antiquated-looking controls. In reality, the Nightshade's quantum AI was handling all operations with perfect efficiency, hidden beneath layers of holographic camouflage that made the ship appear to run on primitive fusion power and basic computer systems. "Opening channel," O'Neill announced, and the main screen shifted to show a tall, ethereal being with iridescent skin and 4 arms. High Counselor Vex Thor of the Galactic Council stood flanked by 2 figures, one, an alien species Khan didn't recognize, and the other a human male in flowing robes. "Ambassador Marcus Rhodes," Khan said, acknowledging the human traitor with a careful nod. Rhodes had been feeding the Council information about Earth's supposed technological level for years, never suspecting he was being fed exactly what Earth wanted the Council to believe. "Commander Khan," Vex Thor's voice resonated with artificial patience, "your delays grow tiresome. The Council has graciously offered Earth membership and protection, asking only for reasonable access to your planet's resources and military submission to our authority. Why do you hesitate?" Khan lifted her chin slightly. "High Counselor, as I explained before, Earth's governmental structure requires time to process such significant decisions. We're a young species, as you've noted. Our bureaucracy is inefficient." "Your bureaucracy is irrelevant," Rhodes cut in, his face showing the smug superiority of a man who thought he knew all the secrets. "I've already provided the Council with complete details of Earth's military capabilities. Your most advanced warships wouldn't last 5 minutes against a Council patrol vessel." Khan allowed herself to flinch at this revelation, watching as Vex Thor's upper lip curled in satisfaction. The Council loved nothing more than seeing primitive species squirm. "Is this true, Commander?" Vex Thor asked, all 4 arms clasped in a gesture of apparent concern. "Has your government sent you here in a vessel that cannot even defend itself?" "Our ships are adequate for our needs," Khan replied, letting a hint of defensive pride color her words. "We've only recently achieved faster-than-light travel, but we dash." "Enough." Vex Thor's patience finally broke. "The Council has ruled this galaxy for 10,000 years. We have uplifted countless primitive species, guiding them to civilization. Some required more forceful guidance than others." The High Counselor's eyes narrowed. "You have 1 Earth hour to submit to our authority, or we will begin orbital bombardment of your major cities. Perhaps seeing New York reduced to ash will help your bureaucracy reach a faster decision." The screen went dark. Khan waited exactly 3 seconds before speaking. "Send the Crimson Phoenix signal," she ordered. "And get me a secure quantum link to Admiral Patel." "They're powering up weapons, Commander," reported Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka from Tactical, reading energy signatures consistent with their standard patrol fleet loadout. Khan nodded, watching as hidden sensors recorded every detail of the Council's supposedly superior technology. Their first mistake was believing their own propaganda. Their second was threatening Earth. She sat in her command chair, calling up the real tactical display hidden beneath the ship's primitive holographic controls. "Sound general quarters. And someone get me some chai. It's going to be a long day." As red alert klaxons began sounding throughout the ship, Khan thought about all the classified briefings she'd received. The Council had dominated the galaxy for millennia through a combination of actual technological superiority and careful information control. They destroyed any species that developed too quickly, ensuring no one could challenge their power. Their spies watched every developing world, identifying threats before they could emerge. but they'd never encountered a species that had detected their surveillance centuries ago. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, developing technologies in secret while maintaining a careful facade of normal development. Every piece of technology the Council had seen from Earth was deliberately designed to look exactly as advanced as they expected. No more, no less. Message from Fleet Command, O'Neill reported. Operation Starcross is now active. We are authorized to show our true capabilities. Khan allowed herself a small smile. The Council thought they were dealing with a primitive species using basic fusion drives and simple shields. They were about to learn a very expensive lesson about the dangers of underestimating humanity. Launch quantum drones, she ordered. Begin active scanning of their shield frequencies. And Lieutenant O'Neill? Find out where Ambassador Rhodes' quarters are on that station. She paused, watching as the massive Council structure began to move into attack position. When this starts, I want our first shot to go right through his window. The bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency, preparing weapons that no Council scanner could detect. In 1 hour, either humanity would be forced to kneel before the Council, or the galaxy would learn that humans didn't take kindly to threats. Khan was betting everything on the second option. After all, the Council had never faced a species that had spent centuries preparing for this exact moment. All hands, she announced shipwide. This is the commander. The moment we've trained for has arrived. Today, we show the galaxy what humanity can really do. The Council's massive ships moved into attack formation, their crews confident in their absolute superiority. They had no idea they were about to become an object lesson in the dangers of complacency. Khan sipped her chai, watching the countdown tick away. The real war was about to begin. Deep beneath the ice sheets of Europa, Director Kenji Takamoto walked through humanity's greatest secret. The massive underground facility stretched for miles, carved into the moon's frozen crust and hidden from prying alien eyes by quantum distortion fields. The air hummed with power as he approached the crown jewel of Earth's true fleet, the UES Prometheus. Status report, he called out to his chief engineer, Dr. Isabella Torres, who emerged from beneath the massive warship's gleaming hull. The quantum cores are at full capacity, Torres replied, wiping grease from her hands. The AI integration is complete, and the stellar forge is ready. She gestured toward the enormous vessel that dominated the cavern. She's the most powerful warship ever built by human hands. The Council won't know what hit them. The Prometheus stretched for nearly 2 miles, its obsidian hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Unlike the deliberately primitive-looking ships Earth showed to the galaxy, this vessel represented the true pinnacle of human achievement. Every system, every weapon, had been designed specifically to counter Council technology. Message from the Nightshade, announced Lieutenant Raj Patel from the command center. Commander Khan has engaged the Council fleet. They've taken the bait. Takamoto nodded, watching as thousands of technicians and crew members rushed to their stations. Begin launch sequence. Alert all facilities. Operation Starcross is now active. Warning sirens echoed through the vast chamber as the ice ceiling began to split open, revealing the star-filled sky above. The facility's quantum shields prevented any scanning technology from detecting what lay beneath Europa's surface, but soon the whole galaxy would know. Sir, Torres called out, her tablet displaying a stream of encrypted data. We're detecting Council probe ships entering the Jupiter system. They're searching for something. Let them look, Takamoto replied calmly. Our stealth systems operate on principles they haven't even theorized yet. They could fly right through this facility and see nothing but ice. The massive chamber thrummed with energy as the Prometheus's quantum cores powered up. Unlike the fusion reactors the Council believed humans relied on, these cores manipulated the fundamental forces of reality itself. The ship's AI system, far more sophisticated than anything the Council possessed, ran final checks on all systems. Message from Earth Command, Patel announced. The Council has begun their attack on the Nightshade. There. He paused, smiling. They're rather confused about why their weapons aren't having the expected effect. Enemy fleet is in disarray, Rodriguez reported with professional satisfaction. Their command and control network is completely disrupted. Each ship is fighting independently now, no coordination, no unified strategy. Tanaka watched as the mighty Council armada began to fall apart. Some ships continued fighting, their crews too proud to surrender. Others tried to flee, only to find their quantum drives refused to activate. The majority simply went dark, their systems completely overwhelmed by technology they couldn't understand. Message from the Eternal Dominion, Volkov announced. High Counselor Vex Thor is demanding to speak with you. Put him through, Tanaka said calmly. The alien leader's face appeared on the main screen, its usual aristocratic composure replaced by barely controlled fury. What trickery is this? Vex Thor demanded. You're supposed to be primitive. Ambassador Rhodes assured us. Ambassador Rhodes was shown exactly what we wanted him to see, Tanaka replied. Just as your spies were allowed to discover exactly the level of technology we wanted you to believe we had. For centuries, you thought you were watching us. The truth is, we've been watching you. Impossible, Vex Thor spat. The Council has ruled this galaxy for 10,000 years. Our technology has barely changed in millennia, Tanaka finished for him. You grew complacent, Counselor. While you rested on past glories, humanity kept pushing forward. Everything you see here was designed specifically to counter your technology, developed in secret while we pretended to be just another primitive species for you to bully. The alien leader's face darkened with rage. This isn't over. The Eternal Dominion has never fallen. Its defenses are based on the same principles as your ships, Tanaka cut in. We've spent centuries preparing for this moment, Counselor. The age of the Council's unchallenged rule is over. He cut the transmission with a gesture. Status report? Council fleet is effectively neutralized, Rodriguez confirmed. 87% of their ships are disabled. The remainder are either destroyed or have surrendered. Casualties are minimal. Our quantum captures worked perfectly. Tanaka nodded in satisfaction. The Council had ruled through fear and superior technology for thousands of years. But they had never faced an enemy that had spent generations preparing specifically to defeat them. All ships, maintain position, he ordered. Prepare boarding parties for captured vessels. And get me a secure link to Earth Command. He paused, looking at the massive form of the Eternal Dominion looming in the distance. It's time for Phase 4. The Council's mighty stronghold awaited, its defenses useless against weapons they had never imagined possible. The real battle was about to begin. Fleet Captain Zara Ibrahim led her strike team through the crystalline corridors of the Eternal Dominion, their quantum phase armor rendering them invisible to the station's security systems. The Council's mighty stronghold had never been breached in 10,000 years of rule. That record was about to end. Status report, she whispered into her neural link. The quantum encrypted signal undetectable by Council technology. Team Beta in position, reported Lieutenant Wei Chun. We've reached the central computer core. You won't believe what we're finding, Captain. Try me, Ibrahim replied, gesturing her team forward. They moved like ghosts through the ornate halls, passing panicked Council staff who couldn't see the human warriors in their midst. Their entire network is running on crystalline quantum processors, Chin explained, excitement clear in his voice. But they're primitive. The base technology hasn't been updated in thousands of years. They just kept building bigger versions of the same systems. Ibrahim wasn't surprised. Everything they'd learned about the Council pointed to the same conclusion. They had stopped innovating long ago, relying on sheer scale rather than advancement to maintain their power. Main security hub ahead, reported Sergeant Aisha Patel, her quantum scanners penetrating the station's walls. Heavy guard presence. They're trying to coordinate the defense fleet, but our AI attacks have them completely isolated. Ibrahim checked her tactical display. Throughout the massive station, other human strike teams were infiltrating key positions. The Council's mighty fortress was being hollowed out from within, and they didn't even know it yet. Execute breach protocol, she ordered. Let's introduce ourselves. The team's quantum phase armor shifted, becoming visible to normal space. To the Council guards, it appeared as if human warriors had materialized from thin air directly inside their most secure facility. Security breach, one of the alien guards shouted, reaching for weapons that were already disabled by targeted quantum pulses. How did they? Ibrahim's team moved with practiced efficiency, neutralizing the guards with non-lethal quantum stuns. "Control room secure," she reported. "Beginning system override." The station's main security displays flickered to life, showing the true extent of the human infiltration. Dozens of strike teams were simultaneously seizing key points throughout the massive structure. The Council's defensive doctrine had never considered the possibility of an enemy that could simply bypass their physical barriers. "Captain," Chun called over the neural link, "you need to see what we've found in the central archives." "Sending data now." Ibrahim's quantum implants processed the incoming information, her eyes widening as she understood its significance. "Confirm this data," she ordered. "If it's accurate." "Triple confirmed," Chen replied grimly. "The Council's entire claim to authority is based on a lie. They didn't develop their technology themselves. They discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization and reverse-engineered what they found. But they never truly understood the principles behind it. That explained everything. Why their technology hadn't fundamentally changed in millennia, why they were so rigid in their tactics, why they feared any species that showed signs of true innovation. They weren't masters of advanced science. They were cargo cultists working with copied technology they barely understood. "Sir," Patel called out, "High Council chamber located. Inner sanctum guards are arming some kind of quantum weapon." Ibrahim accessed the security feeds. The Council's leadership had barricaded themselves in their inner sanctuary, activating defenses that would have been impressive 1,000 years ago. Now they were merely obsolete. "All teams, execute final protocol," she ordered. "Show them what real quantum manipulation can do." Throughout the station, human strike teams activated their most advanced technology. The quantum fabric of space itself rippled as they exerted control over fundamental forces the Council had never mastered. Security barriers collapsed. Weapon systems went dead. Even artificial gravity failed in selected sections. "My God," Chin whispered over the link. "Captain, these archive files, the Council didn't just steal their technology. They've been systematically suppressing scientific advancement across the galaxy. Any species that started developing quantum theory was immediately conquered or destroyed. They were terrified someone would surpass their stolen tech." Ibrahim's jaw tightened as she led her team toward the High Council chamber. "How many civilizations?" she asked quietly. "Hundreds," Chen replied. "Over 10,000 years. They destroyed hundreds of species that might have become rivals, all to maintain their lie of technological superiority." The massive doors of the High Council chamber loomed before them. Behind those doors, the beings who had dominated the galaxy for millennia cowered, their power crumbling around them. "Breach these doors," Ibrahim ordered. "It's time the Council learned what happens when you try to cage humanity's potential." The quantum phase charges activated, and the supposedly impenetrable doors simply ceased to exist at a molecular level. The human strike team stepped through, their advanced armor making them look like avenging angels to the assembled Council leaders. High Counselor Vex Thor stood from his ornate throne, his 4 arms raised in what might have been surrender or defiance. "How?" he demanded. "How did you advance so far without us detecting it?" "Because we knew you were watching," Ibrahim replied calmly. "Every primitive ship we showed you, every outdated weapon we tested, every piece of technology you saw, it was all carefully crafted to match your expectations. While your spies congratulated themselves on infiltrating our primitive research facilities, our real work was being done in places you never thought to look." Final reports from the quantum mapping expeditions, Torres whispered to Takamoto. "The ancient ruins where the Council found their original technology, they're just the beginning. There are signs of similar sites throughout unexplored space. Whoever built them was far more advanced than even our current level." Takamoto nodded thoughtfully. "Then we'll explore them together, as equals with our new allies. No more secrets, no more suppression. Just pure scientific advancement, unlimited by fear or artificial constraints." Admiral Tanaka concluded his speech with a simple truth. The Council fell because they forgot that strength lies not in maintaining power, but in helping others grow stronger. Humanity remembers this lesson. We will not repeat their mistakes. The Galactic Assembly rose in standing ovation. Outside the chamber, ships from 100 worlds prepared for joint missions of exploration and discovery. The quantum barriers that had kept species isolated were falling, replaced by bridges of cooperation and shared knowledge. The age of the Council was over. The age of unity had begun, and humanity, the species that had hidden its light for so long, would help illuminate the way forward. In the depths of space, the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if welcoming a new era of unlimited potential and unbound discovery. The future was no longer confined by the fears of the past. It was open to all who dared to reach for it, and humanity would make sure that this time, no one would reach alone.